Google's finally got an Android tablet again, and it's good. The Pixel tablet is Google's newest stab at making a tablet for your home. The most unique feature is its dockability. It comes with a charging dock. It pops right in, it's got a speaker in there, and when it's connected, the speaker sounds nice and loud, and you can also charge it easily. The one thing about this dock is that it doesn't have adjustable angles, so if you're gonna use it for video chats, and by the way, this has a great camera, you just have to make sure that you're used to that angle and you're okay with kind of leaning over a little bit, although the Google Pixel tablet has a camera that will follow you around a bit. The Pixel tablet's charge dock uses magnetic pins, and it works with the case that is optional. So you could take this thing, pop it on, and not worry about it. But this little tablet dock is also really portable. The one thing though is that this doesn't work as a Bluetooth speaker. So this will only work when the Pixel tablet is docked with it, which is a little bit of a bummer, but you're probably gonna use it when it's docked with it anyway. It just means that when you disconnect it, you're not gonna be able to beam across and then play music on it. The Pixel tablet charge dock does not charge with USB-C. The charger that comes with it has its own charge plug, but the Pixel tablet itself does charge with USB-C. So if you leave this behind, you could still charge this on the go with any charger that you've got. The one thing about the docking here is that because it's magnetic and it kind of hovers, it's a little hard to nail the landing sometimes. And also, if you want to detach it, because this dock is so lightweight, you have to make sure to get the angle, otherwise you'll just take the dock with you. So a little twist like that, but sometimes attaching it can feel easy, and other times it can be surprisingly hard to find where it docks. So if you have kids, keep that in mind. The Pixel tablet basically shows some screensavery type things when it's docked in its hub mode. You could also use that to control your smart home devices, very much like you would use any of Google's existing Nest Hub products or Home Hub products. It's a disconnectable Home Hub solution. And when you take it off, then it turns into a tablet. But I like the idea that this has widgets on it, and even though the widgets are not as fully formed as I would like, it does allow some glanceability with this tablet. The other thing I really like about the Pixel tablet is its performance. The Tensor G2 chip on here is very much like the chips that are on Google's recent Pixel phones, and it's zippy. It performs fine for my purposes. Sometimes I can see it has a little bit of lag, but compared to your general iPad, this feels really nice for doing a lot of things, and that includes multitasking. Google worked some really nice multitasking features into Android 13 on this that are a harbinger of also where things will go with foldable phones. It's kind of the same philosophy here in a much more affordable tablet. So you could bring up two different apps side by side, similar to what you can do on the iPad, and you can drag apps up and bring them into different pane modes that have a couple of different adjusting levels, and it's perfectly fine for looking at two things at once. Especially on a budget tablet, it's really nice to have that. The processor also does a few extra tricks for playing games. Camera looks really nice. In fact, you can also do some photo effects and abilities to screen out your background and create 360 photo backgrounds for Google Meet calls. And it also has some ability to do photo editing tools, much like the Pixel phones. Google's been talking about Magic Eraser quite a bit, so yes, you can erase unwanted people from your photos on this tablet. So the price on the Pixel tablet is also good. It's $500. I said also good because, I would have liked it to be less than this. Considering it comes with the dock, that's a nice plus. But I feel like $300 is the price that I usually want to spend on a budget tablet for kids. But $500 is a little bit in the mid territory for a family budget tablet. A little more premium compared to what you can get for $300. And Google is banking that you're probably going to use this for sharing. So maybe that's worked into the equation a bit. Google does some really nice sharing options on this though. I wish that Apple had the ability to swap accounts as easily as Google does on its Pixel tablet. You could go into kids mode and you could swap over to different guest accounts and make this something that you could just pick up and use for anyone. And that's a great thing, especially since you'll have it charged in one spot in your house. But $500 for 120 gigabytes of storage or $600 for 256 begins to climb into a kind of expensive territory. There's also the case, which is sold separately. The Pixel tablet case has a really nice metal adjustable kickstand, and the whole thing docks right into the charger with the case on. But that case costs $80, which is not cheap, and is not included with the Pixel tablet. I would have preferred if they had found a way to work a case into the package instead of the charge dock, but regardless, I would want to get that for extra protection. The other thing that Google has not addressed here are any other sorts of inputs or accessories, like keyboards or styluses.
The Pixel tablet does not come with a keyboard case. If you want to type on it, you're going to have to use the on-screen keyboard or dictation, like I'm doing now.
But the fact that Google doesn't have its own keyboard case or thought about any sort of a stylus here suggests that they're not thinking about this as a work device, which is a little weird because a lot of kids, including mine, work on tablets, and a lot of people use them for a lot of different things, maybe as a stand-in alternative to a Chromebook. And Google didn't address that here. It's really more of a watch stuff, play stuff, and browse stuff type of a tablet use. If you want to think about something that's a little more of an Android work tablet, OnePlus's recent tablet entry addresses a lot of those needs and could be one that you might want to consider instead. So overall, I'm really happy about the fact that there is now a Pixel tablet. I hope Google continues to evolve the Pixel tablet, but I would like to see the Pixel tablet become a little more than just a dockable home hub type solution, to become something that could really transform into being a little portable computer and do some other stuff, especially with that great processor inside. But this is version 1, and I'm really curious to see where it goes next, and hopefully will continue because Google products sometimes disappear just when you think they're getting started. Thanks a lot for watching. If you have more questions or comments, make sure to leave them in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.